Friends, welcome back to Brick by Brick. I'm your host, Adam Ward, and we have an awesome build for you today. A first time I've ever built one of these. Maybe one of the first ones there are. It is not just a gumball machine, it is a gumball monster. It's a monster, it's a machine, it actually dispenses gumballs, and it's a fun thing to have on your desk. Bring a little bit of ridiculousness into your life, and bring a small reward for being the awesome person you are. Want to learn how to build one? Let's do it. To get our gumball monster started, we're gonna start at the base. The base of the gumball monster is 6 by 10. So I've got two 2x6s and one 6x6. If you've got a 6x10 plate, you could use that too. On top of these, we're gonna grab two more 2x6s. I'm gonna connect them together. And then we're gonna grab some little 1x1s, put them right there, and a 1x2 right in the center. Now I'm gonna be using a bunch of these rounded 1x1 plates on the bottom because they make a really cool design. And our gumball monster looks like maybe it's made of gumballs, maybe it just ate a bunch of gumballs. So we're gonna be using these throughout the build. If you don't have them and you just wanna use 1x1s, that's totally cool too. Speaking of 1x1 rounds, we're gonna go all the way around with some of these, continue this fun pattern. And let's throw in some lime green ones too. Just like that. Now we're gonna build the little ramp where the gumball falls down into the gumball monster's mouth, and then hopefully into your mouth. So flip it around. So here's the front, here's the back. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put down a 1x4. You see I'm using tan. This piece is pretty much totally covered, so don't worry about what color it is. In front of that piece, I'm going to use another little 1x2, and then a 1x2 right on top. So we've got 1x2 too high and 1x2 one high. That allows us to get this really cool 2x4 curved piece and put it right down like that. This creates the slope that the gumball will roll down. Then in front of it, we're just gonna put a 1x2 tile, just like that. Next up, we're gonna leave the very first studs open and put down a couple 1x1s on the second row, just like that. We now have a 1x2 opening here and a 1x2 opening here. We're gonna fill those with some 1x2s. Just grab a couple, put them on top of each other. Again, don't worry about the color. These will be pretty hidden. This is like inside your gumball monster's mouth. Now for some bricks. Got some 2x3s, some 2x4s, and a 1x6. The 2x3s are gonna be right there in the front. Then our 2x4s go on the side, and a 1x6 in the back. And we're gonna do that exact same thing one more time. And don't worry about not breaking the seam, because we break the seam all the time on this build. This is the one exception. You can just plop those down. Now, before we go too tall, what we wanna do is we're gonna put some feet on the gumball monster and its mouth. So, here's the feet. For the outsides, we've got these rounded 2x2s, and for the center, we've got a square 2x2. And then on the bottom of each one, we're gonna put these rounded boat tiles. Just go ahead and connect all those. This lifts the gumball monster off of the ground, and it stops looking just like a gumball machine and turns into a gumball monster. So let's flip our base over, and then in each corner, they get a round one. And then in the center, we get a square one. We're gonna start the mouth out with a 4x4 rounded plate. And on two sides of the plate, we're gonna put these 1x2 curves, just like that. These are gonna stop the gumball from rolling away. Then in the very center, we're gonna put a 2x2 rounded plate, and on top of that, a 2x2 rounded tile. Then on this back side, we're gonna put down a couple 1x1 rounds and a 1x2 wedge, just like that. Now coming off the sides, we're gonna use a couple 1x2s. Attach those with some 1x2 tiles. Then on the front, kind of playing off the tongue theme a little bit, let's drop some 1x1 rounded tiles. And then if we hold the mouth right up to the rest of the body, we'll see that it lines up almost. The tongue is actually one plate level below the rest. So we use these 1x2 little wedges like that have a lower front than they do a back. And these pieces attach the mouth to the rest of the body perfectly. So snap that on like that, and excellent. Now it's time to build the gumball chute. So what we're gonna kick it off with is these really cool pieces. It's a modified 1x with this like archy piece going on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some 1x1 rounds to these. We're gonna take a stack of pink ones, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna put them on the inside, and then one orange one, boop. It helps to make that sound, goes on the outside. We're gonna do the same thing to this one. What a pair. And we join these two pieces with this 1x4 bridge brick, like that. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some of these cool dark pink and put these right on top, like so. And we're gonna connect these on the back with another one, just like that. Now in that opening, we're gonna put a 1x2, and we're gonna put a 1x2 in all of these openings. Right there, and right there. Then on the bottom, we've got some 1x3s that we're gonna plug in, like that, and like that. Now you'll notice that these 1x1 plates on the front are one plate lower than these. We want that to happen. We don't want this to be totally flat, because then it won't fit inside of our gumball monster the way that we need it to fit. So right in this opening, we're gonna add some 1x2 inverted slopes. Boom. These are gonna help support our turning mechanism. And then we've got a 2x4 brick that goes right on top. And then behind our 2x4 brick, drop in a 1x2 and another 1x2. Now we're gonna add some tile action to smooth out the top of this surface. So we've got a couple 1x2s and a 1x4. The 1x4 goes on the back of the 2x4. Remember, this is the front. And on these 1x2s, we got some 1x2 tiles. That right there, and that just like that. And that does it for this part of the gumball chute. So let's put it in the gumball monster. Bring this back, line this up. Remember our little twins looking out into the future? And give it a nice press down. So your 2x4 should be even with the rest of your front. You should have this little area that's sunken a little bit to give it a cool effect. Our gumball chute is looking great. Let's give it a test drive, make sure it works. Perfect! So now we're gonna add some more height to our wall. I'm using yellow, nice bright, fun, candy-related color. Put some 1x3s in the front, and then come back with some 1x3s. And then I'm gonna add on these little 1x1 snot bricks. And I use these throughout the build. You can use more, less if you don't have any, don't worry about it. But I think it's a really fun way to add some personality and turn our gumball machine into a gumball monster. And around the back, just keep on going yellow. 1x3, and if you got a 1x4, go for it. I'm gonna use two 1x2s. This is where our gumball machine really starts to look like a gumball monster. So we've got those 1x1 snot bricks on the front, and we've got some rounded 1x2 corner pieces, which are really great. And then we're gonna do another snot brick right off to the side. Back those friends up with some 1x3s. We're gonna get a 1x4 plate, because that'll help even out this little lower area that we had. And now we're gonna connect the gumball chute to the back with that 2x4, plug in a 1x2 and another 1x2. That does it for that row, but I want this gumball monster to come to life. So I'm gonna add on the eyes right now. So I am going to take these 1x1 green rounds and our eyepieces. I'm gonna put the eyepieces right on the 1x1s. Now you could technically just put these directly onto the snot bricks, but I like putting a little pop of color behind the eyes, so the eyes, you know, they pop a little bit more. All about that pop, friends. Now, on top of this layer, we're gonna add some plates. So we've got some 2x6, pop in just like that. And on the very outside, we've got some 1x6s, just like that. Now, up until this point, we've basically been symmetrical. Anything we've done to the left side, we've done to the right side. But that is about to change because the gumballs come down from the right side. So we're gonna do some stuff to one side that we're not gonna do to the other side. On the right side, we've got a 2x4, and for the back, we've got a 1x4. Now, if you don't have a 2x4, don't worry about it. You can use two 2x2s or various little pieces, but the bigger, the better, because the bigger they are, the fewer ridges you have. And you don't want any gumballs getting stuck on ridges. Now we're gonna go around with another row of yellow. So once again in the front, we've got some 2x3s. And then directly behind those, we're gonna add another little 1x1 snot brick on each side. And on the back, we've got some 1x3s, dropping some 1x2s, and a couple 1x3s. So you're noticing I'm keeping the front open. That is intentional, my friends, because that is where the turning mechanism goes, and it is time to build the turning mechanism. We're gonna start off with a 1x4 plate. Now, keeping with our fun, colorful, rounded theme, we're gonna throw some pink 1x1s on either side, or whatever color you so desire. Then in the middle, we're gonna take this very special Technic piece with the plus sign on the inside. Now the plus sign is important because this will actually turn our Technic axle. Put that right like that. And on top, we've got the sweet 1x4 arcing tile that holds it all together. Then we've got a 1x4 Technic axle. Gonna hold it up next to it and see how it measures. We're gonna put that in the middle. That's our knob. But where's our knob go? We need a knob holder. Let's build it. Again, we start with a 1x4 plate. And on top of this, we're gonna take a couple 1x2s. If you got a 1x4, that works as well. Then in the middle, we're gonna put a Technic 1x2, but as you'll see, this one is different. This one has the hole, because this one we don't want any friction on. This one allows the Technic axle to spin freely, which is exactly how we get our gumball. Then on either side, let's drop in a 1x1 rounded plate. Then we've got these cool pieces that we use down the base of our build, just like that. Now we've got two open studs on top. We're gonna leave those open for now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the knob, we're gonna put that in there, and it will slide freely. And then on the back side, we are gonna add an 8-tooth gear. That guy right there, it slides down the back, just like this. And now when we turn the front, we get some awesome gear motion. And that gear rotation is going to transfer to our gear rack. That's gonna be on our little tray, our gum tray. So let's build the gum tray. We're gonna start off with some 1x4s and some 1x2s. Make a nice little 4x4 square with an opening in the middle. Let's grab our test gumball. Looks like it fits. Two more 1x4s, woo, and two more 1x2s. Connect the back, and then on the sides, some 1x2s. Excellent. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate our gum tray just like that. We're gonna add a gear rack. It's a 1x4 Technic gear rack. And on the back side, a 1x4 tile. And on the sides, a 1x2 tile. And on the right side, this 1x2 wedge. We want this wedge pointing toward the opening because this is gonna link up with our gumball chute and help the gumballs travel through the monster. So let's see what it looks like. Place the tray right there in the center and get our knob and the holder right in there. Now, as we spin the knob, we'll see that it goes from side to side. And one thing we want to add in at this point is a 1x4 brick right here to keep our tray from going too far that way. So we'll drop this piece in just like that. So the gum tray is lining up really nicely. We've got great fluid movement. One thing I am noticing though is that when the tray is all the way to the right, that's like the starting position. So the gumball knob is up and down. And I think it looks cooler if it's side to side. So we hold onto the gear, pull the knob off, and just rotate it. So our starting position now looks like that, and our ending position is there. Let's give it a test. Woohoo! Now we're gonna build up the wall a little bit more and finish off the gumball chute. So to start this next row, we're going to bring in some 1x2s. Keep the pink going, and then we're gonna connect the front to the back with a couple 1x6s on each side. That leaves an opening of 8 in the back. So if you got a 1x8, go for it, but I'm gonna use these two 1x4s. Then on top of these, we're gonna bring in a couple plates. We've got two 1x2s. Let's stack them right on top of each other. Lock those down like that. And on either side, we're gonna put a couple 1x2 bricks, just like that. And now in the front, we've got some tiles. 1x3 to be exact. One on the right side, one on the left side. And if you want to put ears on your gumball monster, this is like a really, really good time. Now we're gonna make a little brace piece that makes our gumball monster super strong. We're gonna kick it off with a 2x6, and we're gonna put on a 1x2 brick, and right on top, a 1x2 plate. We'll flip that around, and on the other side, we're gonna drop in a 1x6 with a couple 1x2s on each side, and then in the middle, we've got these 1x2 inverted slopes. Those go just like that. And this whole number is going to live right there. It's gonna connect the front of our gumball monster to the back, really nice and strong. Next up is the right side of the monster's head. We're gonna start with a 2x4 plate. We're gonna put a 2x2 slope, just like that, so it's hanging over by one stud. Now we're gonna grab a 1x4, and we're gonna attach it just like so. Then on these open areas, we're gonna add two 1x2s. So let's do pink on the bottom, and then white on top. And then behind our 2x2 slope, we're gonna add a 1x3, just like that. On the back side, we're gonna put a little snot brick, because that'll be facing out. We can add some more fun rounded 1x1s to that. And then here, we're gonna add another 1x3. And then to fill in that gap, just grab a 1x1. Don't worry about the color, you won't see it. It's totally internal. Now on the back side, we're gonna add a couple tiles. You could do a 1x4. I've got two 1x2s. And then we're just gonna put a 1x2 brick on all these areas, so it's nice and even. Just like that. Friends, I know what you're thinking. This is a super weird shaped piece. Like, what even is this? There's an opening in the middle, it's lopsided, it doesn't really wanna rest on either side. Is it a capital F? But if you take it, you bring your monster over, and you slide it right into the right side, you can see that it actually fits really well. Right side's done. Monster needs a left side of its head, so let's make that. So this side of the monster's head actually has a little bit of the ramp that helps steer the gumballs down the gumball chute and eventually into our mouths. So we're gonna start off with two 2x3 slopes. The 2x3s are really nice because they have more of a gradual curve than the 2x2s, which are more extreme. And right behind this, you're gonna add a 1x4 brick, and we're gonna connect them all together with this 2x2 tile. Nice little push. Awesome. Set this aside for now. Now we're gonna grab a 2x4 plate and a 1x4 plate. We'll line them up just like that. And similar to the other side, we're gonna connect them with this 2x2 slope. And behind our 2x2 slope, you're gonna add a 1x3 yellow piece. And on the back side, much like the other side, we've got a 1x1 snot brick. And in this opening, we're gonna put a 2x3 brick, so different from the other side. Put that down like that. I'm gonna connect those with a couple 1x2 tiles, or a 1x4 if you got it. And we're gonna plug in these 1x2 bricks, and right down here, another 1x2 brick. Now on top of this, we're going to place our 2x3 slopes. Then if we flip it over, what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect our 2x3 slopes together with a 2x4 plate. Just like that. And now this weird shaped piece is going to slide right in like that. Awesome. That basically does it for the gumball monster's head. The gumball chute is basically complete. You'll see that as we turn it, the gumball tray goes from the side to the chute, and that's how we get one gumball at a time. Now it is time to build the clear gumball tank that sits on top of our gumball monster. So we're gonna kick it off with 4 of these 4x4 quarter circles. And we know they're quarter circles because we put 4 of them together, we got a circle. But we're not gonna put them up next to each other. We need a little bit more space for this level. So we're gonna separate them by 2 studs all the way around. And we're gonna bring in some plates. So on one side, we're gonna do 2x2s, and between the other ones, we're gonna do 2x3s. We want them 2 apart, not 3 apart. So be sure you put the 2x3s in like that. Now to connect all of these plates that make up the base to our gumball tank. We're gonna use these macaroni pieces. They have 3 studs on the top. They are bricks, and they're about 4x4. Even though they're macaroni, my friends, please do not try to serve them with melted cheese. Because it's just a waste of melted cheese. I mean, the melted cheese still tastes good, but these are not for eating. And as you can see, I'm not putting them on the outside. I'm coming one stud in, so it doesn't just connect the arches, it connects all of our 2x2s and our 2x3s as well. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna give a little bit of flavor to the outside, add some 1x2 slopes, just like that. And now it is tank time. We've got these 1x4x6 transparent, awesome pieces. I think these are called panels or walls. These really add some gumball machininess to our gumball monster. Now on top of these clear gumball tank pieces, we're basically gonna match what we did on the bottom. But instead of 2x2s and 2x3s, we're just gonna use 2x2s. And they're each gonna overhang by one stud, just like that. Then in between each one, we're gonna bring back our quarter circle pieces and snap those into place. To reinforce them, we grab some 1x4 plates and we put these on the bottom. If they start to fall off, don't worry. You'll see I'm attaching them from the bottom and then putting down a little bit of weight on top so I get a really nice connection. Whenever you have the ability to apply pressure from both the top and the bottom, it's super duper helpful. My friends, we are nearing the last steps of this gumball monster. We're gonna work on the lid. So we're gonna put this aside for right now and bring out some of our quarter circles. These ones we are pushing all the way together. And what we're gonna do is we are going to connect that with a 6x6 round plate. Little circle on top of a big circle. Get it right in the middle, give it a nice push. Excellent. Now we're gonna flip the whole thing over and we're gonna put 4 more of these quarter circles on the bottom. And we want these to line up perfectly. Like a pizza cut into fourths. I want pizza. And then on top of this, we're going to add another 6x6. Give it a nice push so it's good and strong. Now on top of this, we're going to add a 4x4. And on top of that, we've got a 2x2 rounded tile. Now this gives us a nice kind of dome feeling, which imitates the top of a lot of classic gumball machines. And you might be tempted just to put this right on there, give it a nice squeeze, and call it a day. But if we wait and we put down some tiles and some jumper plates, then when it's time to refill our gumball machine, it's really, really easy. So what we're gonna do is grab 4 jumper plates and put them on the inside corner of our quarter circles, AKA big old pizza slices. So we got those 4 pieces in like that. And we're gonna add some tiles. So on each side, I'm gonna add these 2x2 rounded tiles. Just like that. And we're gonna fill in some of these gaps with some 1x1 tiles, these little guys. You could also use rounded 1x1 tiles. I don't have too many of them, but I've got a bunch of the square 1x1s, so I'm gonna use the square ones. Plug them in here. And you'll see I'm not covering every single piece, just sort of like the inside ones. There's quite a few studs that are still open. So now, if we pick the lid up and put it on, give it a little tap, we'll see it's pretty easy to remove. If that was connected all the way around, oh, it would be really, really challenging to open. But not this way. Great. Now the tank is complete. It is ready to rest atop of our gumball monster. One thing you want to make sure when you're positioning it is that this 2x2 tile sits snugly inside. If you put it the wrong way, it's not going to sit right. It'll be off to the side. So as long as your top is square with the sides, then you know that the opening to the very, very top of the gumball chute is totally unobstructed. You want it nice and clear. And when you're pretty sure you've got it in the right spot, just give it a nice little push all the way around. And if you feel like you need some more internal pressure, you can take the top off and kind of get a finger down in there, do a little bit of pushing as well. Our clear gumball tank is in position, looking really good. The next step, You guessed it, my friends. Gumballs. No gumball machine is complete. No gumball monster is complete without the delicious, the breath freshening, the very colorful gumballs. Let's slap the lid back on. Give it a little tap. Final test. Let me get a drum roll at home, please. And a gumball. Friends, we did it. Our gumball monster is complete. It was so much fun, right? And this is the first gumball machine I've ever made. I mean, I was designing it and came up with some other ones that didn't really work that well. But when I started, I had no idea it was gonna turn into this kind of machine. I had no idea it was gonna turn into a monster. But when you're working on a creative project, sometimes that just go with the flow, see what works approach can be really, really helpful. And now that it's finished, I can reward myself with a gumball, or 2, or 3, or 12, and maybe some pizza. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for building. If you make your own, please share the photos and use the hashtag #MyBrickByBrick. We would love to see them. And to see even more brick by brick, check out this box right here. There's more videos. And to subscribe to SoulPancake, because that's the coolest thing you can do, click right here. I'm about to treat myself to some more pre-pizza gumballs. I'll see you next time.